I'm not trying to make fun of anyone here, so please forgive me as I say a few stereotypical things really quick. When I think of the term nerd, the stereotypical teacher's pet comes to my mind, who works really hard in school, has perfect grades on everything, has to make honor roll, has to make valedictorian, etc., practically memorizes their textbooks, eats and breathes the stuff, and never questions a thing they say. And then you get someone who walks along and takes a look at the world and says, "You know, I think our textbooks could be wrong. I think the world could be flat." They don't even have to say it is flat. They could just speculate and say, "I think it could be flat." Then one or multiple straight A students hear you say that. Some at varying stages in life. Some even retired with one or more PhDs under their belt. When they hear you say that, suddenly their heads turn violently. "What? How dare you say such a thing?" And they get really offended over just a passing thought. And I'm like, whoa, slow down, calm down here. Since when is it a crime to question things? That could be where much of the big flat earth versus anti-flat earth rivalry comes from. But then there are a few things that go a little over the top. When I think of your stereotypical nerd, they are totally fine so long as you stay out of their OCD bubble. You don't bother me and I don't bother you. But then all of a sudden you see some odd Facebook groups like the Flat Earth Society and the Friends of Flat Earth that are not very friendly towards flat earthers. That could more accurately be described as the Anti-Flat Earth Society and the enemies of the flat earth. And it isn't just at the basic member level, but some of the admins themselves are anti-flat earth trolls. When I see stuff like that, I scratch my head and say, who does that? In sports, do you see anyone making pages like Friends of the Dallas Cowboys that are run and operated by trolls just there to make fun of the Dallas Cowboys? Do you see that in religion? Do you think Facebook would even allow it? Muslims United, a Facebook group dedicated to trolling Muslims. I've never seen that anywhere. I'm not suggesting it by any means. I don't have anything against Muslims. I've had nothing but respectful interactions with them, which is more than I can say for some other religions out there. But how about something as simple as the whole brony movement? When all these guys got way into watching My Little Pony, did anyone troll them that severely? Nowhere that I saw. I've got to say, all this special attention for Flat Earth leaves many, myself included, wondering why. Is this some kind of CIA operative to try and squash the Flat Earth movement? It reminds me of Storm Area 51, when over 3 million people RSVP'd to storm Area 51 a few years ago. I was there, and I watched as the state of Nevada declared a state of emergency, and the government stepped in to dismantle that. When it goes even beyond extreme levels of trolling on Facebook, and yes, when people make these false flat earth sanctuaries, I call that extreme trolling. But when it comes down to YouTube itself, flagging flat earth videos with these little Wikipedia banners trolling the flat earth, that is a whole nother level of extreme. And then on top of that, seeing YouTube in court with government officials saying, "Whoa, you guys gotta do something about this flat earth movement." That certainly shows me there is something there. This little simple innocent speculation just kicked a hornet's nest, and they are protecting something. In an odd twist of fate though, when all is said and done, when I thought of myself as a kind of anti-nerd, after I looked up the definition of the word nerd, it turns out a nerd is an intelligent but single-minded person obsessed with a non-social hobby or pursuit. So, as long as the flat earth remains a taboo topic at social gatherings, and anything pro-NASA is socially acceptable, it looks like I'm the nerd. So I don't know who gets the last laugh on that one. You point one finger and suddenly you got 3 fingers pointing back at you. What can I say? This message is brought to you by the Flat Earth Institute of Science. Thank you for watching.